Josh, you would have been hung in the streets when they found out how old you are and still being single.
Oh, really? Maybe I would have had my own spin-off series. Huh?
Yeah, dead single old man.
Family.
Family. Ex-family.
This is the very first Volume 1 redone that we've ever done, and it is going to be on Spy X Family. What is a Volume 1 redone, you might be wondering? And yes, I know I look more like an MIB agent than I do an actual spy, but humor me, okay? I'm not a professional cosplayer.
Just has a laser gun.
Yeah. You look like you're going to erase my memories right now, right. Not like you're a spy, but it's fine.
It's a Galaxy Quest gun, and Galaxy Quest is a great movie. But
no one's arguing.
No one said anything. I recognized it.
Yeah, you think you're the guy? You're the one who knows about Galaxy Quest.
He owns a gun. Like, we didn't take it that far. Like, he owns.
I just appreciate it.
Yeah,
so do I, and I show my appreciation by supporting the franchise.
And we're showing our appreciation to this franchise.
Yeah,
by actually having all of us read the thing.
Wow, look at us.
Yeah, Volume 1 redones are basically just where we redo episodes that we've done in the past when we hadn't quite figured out what our show was yet. So we already have an episode on Spy X Family that's audio only, but that was during a time, for whatever reason, only one of us was reading Volume 1 in its entirety.
At the time, we thought was an awesome idea.
The tits.
Yeah.
We were like, we're fucking on it.
That's so smart. It's so smart.
We use our big brain for the episode.
People are gonna fucking love this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And
they still might.
They still might, but also I think a lot of people who really care about the series, it upset them.
No, it upsets them on a deep level because,
Yeah.
We were babies. And babies, babble. They're known to babble. Babies babble. So we were in that stage of babbling and wah-wah, but now we're here.
Now we're no more goo-goo gaga.
No more goo-goo gaga, only business.
Yes.
Right.
We're all
get that on a t-shirt.
Professionals now. And because I remember you told us about this series, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll check it out. I didn't, but I did. I did now.
Yeah.
And I really liked it.
And that's what I want to. Yeah, I love it. And I was the one in the original episode who read Volume 1 in its entirety and into Volume 2. But Cody and Megan, you didn't. You read like the first chapter, a couple chapters.
I think that was the system, right? It was one person maybe reads one chapter.
Yeah, one chapter, or even just looks at the art. Like, I really couldn't. Yeah, just like, Spy X Family, got it. I really can't. It was so long ago, and I obviously. I don't think I read it because I had no idea really what was going to happen, like in the beginning, or like how it was set up. So I remember, I don't remember this at all. So I definitely didn't read it. But that might contradict what I said in the past.
Right. Well, I mean, the idea was that we were going to represent the audience, or represent someone who hadn't read the series by being someone who'd only read the first chapter or whatever. At the time, it made sense. In hindsight, it was dumb and stupid. But we're here to fix that. We're here to remedy it because Spy X Family is an amazing series and it deserves that. So what did you guys think upon reading Volume 1? And I think both of you read a little bit past that. We're going to keep it very light. Spoilers for this section of the podcast. We might do some spoiler heavy stuff later on, but what did you guys think about Spy X Family upon further read?
Initially, because I kind of remembered what you said about it, it's just like, it's kind of like it's like a fun spy version of it, and then like some fight scenes happen. You're like, they're very well done fight scenes.
Yeah.
And then everything's just that little bit funny, and then you see all these characters and like they all bring like a little bit of humor, but like that character will be serious in something, and then it's like, this is a very unique world.
Yeah, I am a sucker for like a story that has like multiple layers of like the character's realization of like what's going on versus like what's actually going on. And a good use of character Anya, it's hilarious because she knows, a spoiler.
Yeah, I guess. I don't think that's a spoiler. I mean, the synopsis for the series, if you don't know it already, is just that there is a spy who's tasked with a mission that requires him to have a family. So he has to go out and find a fake wife and a fake daughter as a spy, and the wife he finds is an assassin, and the daughter he finds is a telepath. And that's the pitch that's the airplane pitch for the show. So I don't think that's a spoiler.
Because I don't know what else there is to explain about it. So I was like,
yeah.
They're a family?
Yeah.
And there's nothing else to it.
It uses that, like, it just uses it to tell more of the story, and like she's a perfect comedic little vessel because she the jokes that she just does things because she knows what they're thinking, or you can hear what they think in their head, and it's so funny, and it's such a good way to tell the story and move it along versus like actually just being like, hey, I like saying it, you know.
Oh wow, yeah, I never realized that was so smooth. I didn't even realize that's how you got exposition dumps. Well, I felt like I'm with that character because I'm like, oh, I don't know what's going on either. She's like, I'm reading their mind. They're doing this. I'm like, oh, yeah, thanks.
And that's how it flows so easy, like when you're reading it. It's like, perfect.
It's we did a review on Don't Bully Me Nagatoro-san recently, and like what's very different about Spy X Family is like it's pure, it's wholesome. There's no hints at anything lewd. I mean, I don't think really.
No, but like it's a different when you're like, okay, give me something for these characters.
Well, I mean,
when you want to root for them because you're like,
sure,
for the spy and the assassin.
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
there was one scene that I was like, that seems kind of.
Really? I thought the whole thing. I mean, maybe I'm just becoming more. I don't know. Desensitized isn't the right word, but maybe I am.
I'm like, there's barely any, so I'm just like, I want just this.
No, I love it. I love it just the way it is. I don't want anybody to touch anybody.
And it is such a because they like, and they don't because they're like, oh, this is mutually beneficial for us to like lie about being together, and it doesn't really focus on them like brushing hands. It's like they start appreciating each other as like
people.
Husband and like parents and like people.
Yeah,
like that's all their moments are just appreciating that. So they go like before romance even happens, which I mean I figure it will. Yeah. But it just feels like they're not even neither one's like really focused on that. They're just like they're realizing, oh, this is a good man, this is a good woman, and then like I think you are a good character.
Well, I think they're both they both have their objectives, and what they're learning, at least what she's learning is rather than like learning to love him, she's learning to love herself, kind of. I think in a lot of ways.
She blames herself for like doing these things out of like necessity, but she's like, I'm allowed to be happy.
Yes, no, for real. Yeah, I mean, that's what I really liked about it is that it's not a like you said, Cody. I'm sure it will go there. And it sort of is. I read up to volume 3, and it sort of is going there.
It's like I'd never. Not never, but I've just been like, it's so not that's the point of it. It's like it's not in your face, so that when like you just get a glimpse, you're like, oh
yeah,
my heart,
because it feels so natural that they're essentially friends pulling a prank on society by being together, and then. But yeah, so it's like they're like, oh yeah, what's up? Like they start off like, oh thanks for helping me out, and then they're just around each other all the time, and it's like, oh can you go do that? They do it, and you're like, thank you.
The cutest parts though aren't really with them in the first couple volumes. It's with them and it's with him and Anya.
Yeah,
and they're like there's like full page panels with him and Anya and her little stubby arms and legs, and it's so adorable when she's laying with him on the couch.
Oh my god, I died.
The first volume focuses mostly on because he like adopts her first before he has to get a wife. Anya might be the cutest character I've ever seen. In anything, and there were moments where it was so like wholesome and pure. I don't know, like just crying a little bit just because you're like, that's so sweet.
Yeah, no, it's it's pure.
It's all of them, like obviously being a family, but like they need they're always relying on themselves and never another person, so that now they can, and you're like.
Well, yeah, I mean that's 100% true. He spies are very much lone wolves, and she's been alone because she's been given up so many times. But what's interesting about the cuteness too, before I forget, is that not only is this does this mangaka, this creator, have like a history with manga that we're actually very familiar with, but also this series is their first like cute series. Their series previous to this was very mature, kind of dark. I don't mean mature like mature.
No, not like some other mangaka that we've discussed in the past.
No, but like they have manga series that included like witch hunter, serial killers, just things like that.
That I can see a carryover from that being whenever it goes into the fight scenes and showing like the assassin doing stuff.
Yeah.
Because, like, it is, like, mostly a wholesome, like, fun story, but when people fight, they, like, you see, their bones, like, moving and being warped and their faces, like, and then, you know, she doesn't, when she assassinates people, there's blood on the walls.
Yeah, she straight up, like, kills people.
Oh,
like, dozens of people. Yeah. Like, it's so funny. It's like not. It's just like because he's just like a spy and he does things for like the government and he stops bombs and she's like, I'm just a killer.
But she's also so sweet.
I know.
You know? But so I think me and Megan are in on this. But Cody, I don't know if you know that apparently this mangaka was an assistant on Blue Exorcist and Fire Punch.
Oh,
yeah, they were an assistant to Fujimoto. Apparently, Fujimoto's the godfather of fucking.
Good
manga, or at least good manga.
They finished that shit and they're like, I need a refresher.
I wonder if that's what happened. He's like, look, I can't do this anymore.
No, I think I read something where like their editor or something that like their team was like, I think you should do something a little cute or something different. And he's like, okay. And he just fucking comes out with this fucking amazing masterpiece.
Well, yeah, and like you said too, it's so clear that they have this history with probably more fight action-y kind of series because like first of all, the fluidity of the movement, sometimes reading fights in manga is very hard for me. I lose what's happening very easily, but this I can always tell. It's so dynamic that when someone's getting kicked, their head's flying back and there's so much motion and it's clear what's happening. It's very clear what move they just did and what direction they're being thrown.
It's also a great contrast to the cuteness of the story. It shows like the highlight of like, oh yeah, they are spies and they are murderers, and like it makes sense for it to like showcase that on the page. So it's great.
Yeah, because I feel like the easier way could have been like just glossing over the assassin and spy stuff.
Yeah, not showing it, but like mentioning that they do it.
Yeah, or having, because they'll have some parts where they show his spy stuff and it's like, oh, like classic action movie spy stuff, but then it'll go into like some of his past and stuff, and it will show like dramatic stuff happening too.
Yeah.
And that's I can gush about this for a whole nother podcast, but I'm gonna try to like talk about it for a very short amount of time. The art in this, because what I want to ask you guys too is like, when you guys first read it, we as like a group obviously hadn't read as much manga as we've read now. So for me at the time, I remember I had read a good amount of manga, but obviously way more now. But I remember reading this and thinking to myself, like, this is first of all, like you said, Cody, one of the cutest characters I've ever seen in anything. The art style is so unique and beautiful and perfect and clean and sleek and like new, but like it's perfect. It's perfect. And
the facial expressions, the body expressions are. I remember in one of there's like a very small panel.
Yeah.
And I like squinted in, and like the character was still doing this like little facial expression, and I was like, that's fun. It was like, oh, like that was like they didn't just like do it as an afterthought. It was still like there was still a joke there.
Yeah.
It's like. It's a very, not rare, but when you see like such a wholesome story and like cute characters and very moe moments, like you expect it to just follow that one note of being cute and like cutesy, but this is like a mixture of all of these things that it's amazing. Like it's action, and it, like when it does the action, it's fucking good. And the comedy, when it does the comedy, it's really good. And the cuteness, and it's like all of these things that are done very well.
And I think you're kind of hitting on it too. The art style isn't in it at its core. It's not overly cutesy. Anya's super cute, and the things that she does with Lloyd are really cute when she's laying on the couch, or whenever he's like holding her, when she's pulling on his jacket or whatever. It's like very cute, but it's not inherently cute. It's like Lloyd looks like he could be in a different series. You know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily look like he would be in this kind of cutesy series. It's the art is well rounded. It captures the cute moments, like you said, really well. It captures the action really well. But it's also just like these covers, dude. The like pastel, like light colors that they use for the manga covers, the composition.
Yeah, it's very like the furniture. Soft. It's very 60s mod. Like that furniture is like a marshmallow chair. I don't know the designer, and then just all Sorry, I know mid-century modern furniture. But
yeah,
I mean,
like, sorry, I don't know the designer of those. Like, no one expected you.
No,
I'm
but
surprised you know this much.
Jackson's stepdad has that exact marshmallow chair, the one with the circles and like orange, and it's a very mid-century modern, and that's like the style that it's like it's just capturing that beautifully, and.
Everything
they're all so good.
And you're right about it's like it's sort of retro, but it's new. That's what I meant by new and old.
Yeah, it's like the Spy. They're like really
Yes.
tapping into that like 1960s, you know,
Mm-hmm.
Trigun. No, 007 is going into anime again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's capturing the. I hear like the
yes.
Austin Powers music.
I hear like
a little
the
bit.
music from The Incredibles, for
Which
some
is
reason.
how the series
Yeah.
starts on that kind of note where
Totally.
they're doing there's a bus and it's like kind of like a joke thing that you find out it's
Yeah.
over and it's like and then you get a mask take off and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, so it's like a classic action spy thing, and then he
And then record scratch.
yeah
yeah.
You gotta get a family.
Also, I don't know if you noticed too, like there's just like the detail in it too. There's like this small like shimmer that they put on the front of these manga as well. Like the detail, the care. Something about like the
back to the chrome 60s.
yeah, no, you're right. I mean, something about like the care, the detail that they put into the art, just like the way they're packaging it, the way it's packaged, the way it's written, the way it's presented, everything about this series. What my whole point to bring it back around is, yes, Cody, yes, I get it. Is that at the time I thought maybe I just haven't read enough series. Maybe there are a lot of series that are like this, and I just I'm not aware. And then the more I read and the deeper I go, I realize how special this is. Like, there's not a lot of things like it. And I can confidently say now, having read way more since first reading this, that hands down Spy X Family is my favorite art style, period. And the way it's everything about it, the way it's packaged, the way it's like the way the panels, it's the way it's everything about it in its presentation, execution, aesthetically is my absolute hands down favorite.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Yeah.
Right?
I liked that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never heard that sound, babe?
I've heard it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Yeah, too much. I don't know why it like really tickled me, but I liked it a lot.
Because it sounds
Yeah.
like him a little bit.
No, you did it. It was like,
No,
I was like,
it
am I
was a
hearing
good
that?
impression.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was kidding.
I mean, the rule of threes, but also
No, but yeah, it's fine. It'll come back around.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
Spy X Family, you can't stress like it's popular
for a reason.
for a reason. It's not just popular to be popular, like hype to be hype, like which is a thing now.
It is.
Because everything amplifies the other parts of it. Because like when Anya's being cute, it's not just like, oh, it's a cute slice of life. It's cute because you know her background and you know Lloyd's background and you know Thorn Prince's background. So you're like, the fact that she's cute, you're like, oh, she's like getting a family and she's like warming up to these ideas, and she's also starved for that kind of affection. So
Yeah.
it's like it's not just cute for the sake of it. It's cute because it used to not be cute for them.
Yeah. I mean, and it's like on the surface, it seems like it'd be very simple, right? Spy meets.
X.
Okay, no. But yes, spy gets daughter, spy gets wife. But wouldn't you know, it's not that easy. Things aren't as they seem.
Shenanigans ensue.
Shenanigans ensue.
I was trying to not go there, but you went there. But yeah, it seems on the surface very, very self-explanatory, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But it's far deeper than that. I don't know how chronological we want to get, but I mean, as a story from the beginning, it's like Cody said, it's Lloyd on that mission, and then after it's kind of revealed that this is just the setup and his real mission is to get a family.
Yeah, and he like casually like breaks up with the girl.
Oh,
He was like, all right, I'm done, and he's just like, all right, that like he just dated a girl for the cover of it.
Yeah.
Very detached guy from everything, because at the time he was just a spy.
My first note was Twilight's fine ass. Like,
oh yes.
Oh my god, this is a fine anime dad, and you know how I feel about a fine anime dad. And
yeah,
I've
usually they're made
clear.
of metal or something.
Usually, which
this must have been very weird for you to having a
he
fully
handles
organic.
metal.
Yeah.
He handles it.
Yeah,
No, he handles it.
He's got a gun. I'm not talking about the one in his hands.
Lloyd, more like fruit of my Lloyds. Am I right?
I mean,
I love him. Such a cute character.
Yeah.
I love a character that has Did you like it?
It was very good.
When you have a character that has character development and not like a forced way.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, he is forced to do this. Like, he wouldn't have done this without being forced to. But it makes for fucking good story, and
yeah.
you can watch these characters literally do anything, and just the positions that they're put in. It just goes to show like how good the series is.
I think that's what it is. I mean, sometimes I wonder, like, could I probably can just watch these characters do literally anything, because there's bonus chapters at the end of the first manga where they go to the aquarium, and it's just like this really weird side mission, and they, like, someone put a vial in a penguin, and Lloyd has to find the penguin with the vial, and it's like very, like, it doesn't really tie into the rest of the series, but it's also like, oh, I could just watch him I could watch him take out the trash, and it'd be fun.
Yeah, the way they set it up too, he's just going like to the aquarium with his family, and he goes, and they're like, we have a mission for it, and he's just like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it. And they're like, okay. And then he goes to the aquarium and buys it because he's like, oh, how did you know it was here? The mission. And he's like, no, I'm not doing it. And he's trying to get out of it, and they're just like, please. And he's like, fine.
I saw the running joke throughout the series is the way his agency gets in contact with him. Where, like, by the end of it, they were like, they wrote him a message in the sauce on a meal he wrote, and he was like, they got to stop doing this.
Yeah. Well, they'll also make like animal noises. So someone will say, like, have a nice day, Ribbit. And then he'll be like, oh, code name Toad?
Meow. Yeah, it's meow.
Yeah.
Which is fun because it's like, that would be very, like, alerting to someone who was like, what?
Yeah.
Another thing, reading it, this happens every so often with, like, a really good manga. Like, I could hear them talking, like, like, I can hear it in my brain. Like, usually I'm like, okay, reading it, like, I hear their distinct, like, voices, because, like, the writing for each character is so distinct. It's amazing. I know what they sound like. And I'm like, I know you guys.
Well, are you going to be, because that could be a good thing or a bad thing, because the anime adaptation is
of course
is coming out, so it could not match. But also,
I won't care. I'll be happy that I'm getting an anime, honestly. But reading it is fun. It's fun to do.
But they have to, like, really do. This is an anime. I want the anime, like, the animation level to be like Kaguya-sama, like, season 2 level animation. Like, that animation is so good.
Yeah, it's so good. It's such not underrated. People love it, but, like, people are just like, oh, it's a slice of life romance. It's like, bro, like, the cells on that shit are fucking insane.
Yeah. If it's not that high level, I'm gonna be hurt. I'm gonna be a little upset.
What I like too is it opened, like, he's still kind of callous in the beginning.
Yeah.
It would have felt cheap if they just had him like, oh, I guess this is my daughter now. But, like, for a good part of the story, he is like, oh, Anya is a tool for me to accomplish my mission. And he has to have a whole moment where he, like, because at first he's like, I don't even like kids. I hate hearing them cry.
Yeah.
And then the payoff to that would be where he's like, why? Oh, I remember why I hate hearing them cry, and it shows him, like, in a war-torn city.
Yeah.
And he's like, I hate hearing them cry because I never want to hear them cry again.
Yeah.
And like, that's the moment
that's
where
why he became a spy. Or like,
yeah.
And he became a spy because he never wanted kids to have to go through that and to cry over, like, wars.
And then he realizes, like, oh, this is an abandoned child. Like, it's not like a child that I just had. Like, it's a child that has been given to multiple people, and he's well, I guess I could, like you or something.
He starts thinking about it, like, I guess I could swap her out for another one, maybe a smarter one, which Anya can hear the whole time, which is kind of like,
Oh, I think that I don't know if she hears that. I think she was asleep.
She reads his mind, not like, he doesn't say it out loud.
No, I know. I think that panel though, he was like thinking about it.
I mean, he's thinking about it when she's asleep and when she's
I remember there was one scene where she, like, cried in, like, a public because she's like, don't throw me away, because she read his mind where he was thinking about it.
Because it happens in volume 1 that he goes to the orphanage, finds her. She can read minds, so she knows what he's looking for. So she tricks him with the crossword puzzle because he's answering it in his head. She's reading the answers and she's writing them down. She knows that he needs someone smart. So she's she lies about her age too, because she knows he needs someone of a specific age, and
the what do you call the leader of an orphanage? The headmaster?
Sure. I mean,
asshole.
Yeah, the asshole.
The asshole.
Yeah,
is just like I mean, I don't even know.
Yeah, he's also like, just take her.
Yeah.
Like, is there paperwork? Nah, take her.
Kind of like an Orphan Annie type deal. Despicable Me, very despicable. Oh, this is very Despicable Me-esque. Because he adopts 3 little girls, and then in the second one, he finds a spy wife, and then they become...
Does that happen in Despicable Me too?
Yeah.
Can I be honest with you? I've never seen Despicable Me 1 or 2.
Despicable Me is a solid.
No,
movie.
you haven't. Don't get scared of the minions.
I'm
They
not
are
scared
just
of the minions.
they're just like a tool for
That's just
child laughter, idle laughter. They're there to make fart jokes.
They make noises, but they don't actually say words.
Yeah, I mean, I'm of the mind that the minions aren't that bad.
They're not that bad, but people made them bad.
Sure,
yeah, we don't have to get into the psychology.
No. But I'm just saying it has a lot of parallels, spies, kids, and it makes you feel good.
Maybe I'll watch Despicable Me.
You should watch it. It's a good film. Any other?
Like that, like a lot of it's devoted to like I guess him realizing that I guess he should care about her. It's not. I like how it builds up to it. It's not this immediate thing. I think if it was a pure slice of life, that's how it would work. But he is still like, this is my job. That's what this is. I need to do this. And if she doesn't help me with that doesn't. And then, it's not like, it's not even Cal. It's like, my job is to get this done.
Yeah. I don't even think it's till, towards the end of Volume 1 that he sort of starts to come around, I think. There's the whole moment where, because she can read his mind, she knows he's a spy, and when he goes out to do stuff, she goes through his closet and finds this this telegram transponder
and a gun.
Oh yeah, and a gun with a silencer.
That could have happened. That could have ended very badly for her.
Yeah, thank God this is a cute story.
Yeah, that could have ended really bad. But anyway, it's hilarious.
That's when they're like, no, we're not doing a fire punch twist. Oh, okay. I don't. Oh, there was also like
there was 2 copies of the editor's table. Okay, one where Anya dies, and the second one is just cute stuff. Okay.
And he's like why is Anya called Luna in this series? And he's like, I'm getting shit mixed up. I don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm still.
Why does Anya keep saying Liv?
Why does Anya find her brother?
Spy Liv family.
Spy Liv family. Spy Punch.
Spy Punch family.
Yeah.
It's funny you mention that with the brother because actually, all right, we'll talk about it later. But yeah,
is it somehow related?
They're kind of actually with a brother.
Oh, you think that it's like a complex?
Right.
I mean, that's what people say. It's just it's a little. He's a little too excited.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about now, and I just don't want you to forget it. And now that you said it, I'm not going to forget it either because you're kind of weirdly right about it.
It's a thing. It's a fucking. It's a huge thing in fucking anime and manga. Like there's this complex.
I mean, I think it's entirely innocent. It's just funny to view Fire Punch as a dark mirror of this, like what I think is like a pretty wholesome brother-sister relationship.
Right. I think it's just like there's no real point in dancing around it. It's not a spoiler. The events that happen might be spoilerish, but the relationship I don't think is spoilery. But what we're talking about is basically Thorn Princess's brother, her relationship. Her brother just loves her almost a little too much, and I think it's like. But it's still very innocent and wholesome and cute.
Yeah, he's just like, I mean, that's part of the wholesome universe where he's just skipping and he's like, I can't wait to see my sister. And you're like, very, it's like, it's too sweet.
I mean, it's pretty much like, it's like his parent.
Yeah.
Like she really provided for him.
Well, yeah, but when he was a little kid in the flashback, he said he wanted to marry her.
But don't all little boys say that to their sister?
I have one sister and couple stepsisters, and I've never said that.
You
Not
have
even to your stepsisters?
Huh? Not even to my stepsisters. I have a sister. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, we both do.
Yeah.
Really? You both have sisters?
Cody has a sister. Yeah.
She lives in Tennessee.
Whoa.
My sister lives very close. I should visit her more.
Yeah. Anyway.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. I love my sister. My sister's fucking
Makes me
awesome.
think different of you.
Why?
Really? I feel like that's bad.
No, it's fine.
No. I don't know. I heard someone say that. I was like, oh, he has a lot of sisters. He must respect women. What are you talking about?
I mean,
the fuck are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense.
It depends on the person.
It definitely depends on the person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And only that.
Only that.
But my point is that he does love her a little too much. Like they did it in Black Clover. I know Cody's a very hot topic. Black Clover. I don't want you to like.
You don't like Black Clover either. Don't act like.
I don't like it, but I also don't dislike it as much as you.
Okay. I don't like the authority that this suit gives you.
I feel like I don't even feel like a spy anymore.
You're doing more hand motions.
Yeah. But they did it in Black Clover, where there's a character who like loves his sister a little too much, where he's like, I need to earn all this money for my beautiful, sister. I need to make sure she has everything she's ever wanted because she's a queen. She's a princess. I love her. She doesn't like it's obsessive, but it's also, it like walks that line, never crosses it, but it does dip a toe over every now and then. And I think their relationship in Spy X Family, the brother-sister relationship, does that too.
I don't think it
barely.
Really.
There's one point where you're like, no, but it's fine. It's just overprotected because of the circumstances.
I think it's just part of the that world where he's just like, he just buys her a boot. Well, and also we'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll get into the spoilery
things.
But I do think I will just say, for the most part, it's wholesome. It's cute. But he did say he wanted to marry her. But that's all. Even that was
as
innocent.
a child, I don't think.
Yeah.
And she did say like she would wait for him.
Yeah. Because it was a wholesome thing. Yeah. I'm just, ever since Cody brought up the fire punch parallel, I'm just, it kind of ruined it for me a little bit. But
that really wasn't. They weren't actually related. She just looked exactly like her.
No, she was her. Yeah, that's a very
No, I mean,
it was actually completely fine and awesome.
No, I'm talking about
bad
Agnes'
him.
actual sister who was like trying to fuck him.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, but basically, where we left off in the story is that moment where he comes around to loving Anya or wanting to be with her and wanting to stay with her no matter what, is when she steals that transponder and she sends a message that is intercepted by a rival spy gang, and they
I think they just look like a bunch of like thugs, right?
Yeah.
They just
probably. I mean, there's a lot of people probably after him because he's fucked
famous.
people over.
Well, yeah, he's a famous spy. He's Twilight, He's the Twilight.
He's Twilight.
Yeah. What would my spy name be? It's not important, but I'll think about it.
Sad Man.
Oh.
Watch out.
00 Sad Man.
It's the double sad man.
It's the double sad man. All right, that's pet.
Maniacal.
Megan the Maniacal.
No, I wouldn't have my real name in there.
Oh yeah, it's kind of
defeats the entire purpose.
Maniacal. Yeah. Oh, have you heard of Maniacal? Yeah, she's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. You'd be the assassin of the.
Very good at disguises.
Group. Yeah, I'd be. Yeah, very good at disguises.
That's where the cosplay comes in.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm. What do you think I'm doing it for?
And Cody, you haven't met this character yet, but you'd be like the dog.
No, I'm the assistant who I think is the stand-in for the author.
Oh, Frankie.
Oh, yeah, I like
Frankie.
him.
Yeah, Frankie rules. And
Frankie
he
does rule.
Yeah. So yeah, she gets like full on kidnapped and like actually cries during it, which is nice because it's not like they could have done the thing where it's like jokey and the goons are just like I'll give you some candy till you be quiet, but that is like portrayed as like a straight child being kidnapped scene.
Yeah, I love you see Anya's scared face is the fucking funniest shit ever. Like her little, I have it drawn here, just like her eyes, like this face is constantly used. It's so cute and funny. Yeah. It's so cute and funny. I love it.
Yeah, she's and the other face that you drew there too, with her eyes and they're like
the little grin when she's grinning at the kid.
Oh man, Anya's the cutest character ever. But yeah, she gets kidnapped, and Lloyd/Twilight, Lloyd Forger, by the way, great code name for a spy,
for someone faking things.
Yeah.
We'll give him the name Forge.
Also that's a solid last name, strong last name.
Yeah,
Forger. It could be forger of weapons.
Yeah.
But she gets kidnapped, and he comes to her rescue.
Forge your pleasure.
Maybe forge your pleasure.
That's what she said.
Yeah. No, she said
that's an knee slapper. That's a knee slapper.
I bet you want Lloyd to slap you.
Okay. Anyway.
That's where we get another nice fight scene.
Yeah.
That's where we get our first big cool fight scene.
Yeah.
And he slaps some people.
Yeah.
Slaps them around, and she was like, he says, he's like, I'm gonna fucking just get rid of her. I'm gonna take her to the adoption center. I'm fucking done. And she's like, oh. And she like obviously waits outside because he told her to, go away. And she waits for him, and it's cute.
Well,
I like the fight scene where he's using like tools he finds very like Didn't he do like a smoke screen at some point?
Yeah,
he's wearing a disguise.
Or no, he uses like flour.
Yeah,
these things that he finds around.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, we can't shoot because the flour can explode.
Yeah,
something that now two mangas I like mention flour explosions.
I mean, he's just like he's also a good spy. That's the cool thing too. Like he's not like I don't know. Like it's never making fun of the fact that he can do these things or that he kind of does them sometimes. No, he's like one of the best spies.
Yeah, he's baller.
Could have gone down the Austin Powers route
right,
of
that's
like,
what I mean.
he's a famous spy, but then he just sucks at it, and that's a joke, Mr. Bean or whatever.
That's kind of what I was. Yeah,
they do those where it's like, oh, he's a great spy. What was that? That one where Steve Carell did the movie for him.
Get Smart.
Right.
Where
he's a spy, but oh no, his wristwatch is tangled in his hair.
Right.
And you're like, how do you get that job?
Groovy, baby. Yeah.
I'm Randy.
But they have it like, this guy is the best spy in the world, and then like, oh no, yeah, that makes sense. Yep. Nope. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Like there's a scene where like people are like, oh, it's that guy, and they're like, oh, I really want to see him, and I'm like, that makes sense that people would look up to this guy because I've seen him in action, and yeah, he is the best goddamn spy that this world's ever seen.
He's the best spy. He's the best goddamn spy I've ever seen.
He's the best spy that no one's ever seen. And it's actually pretty cool because everybody in his unit or whatever really respect him, and he has to call in some favors for Anya at a certain point too, to like fill a castle full of people so that she can pretend she's like a damsel in distress or whatever. And that's
which,
also
if you
really
want to hint at what directions the story will go into, there's a fun little teaser that at one point they have to rent out a castle for something.
yeah, for just something.
Yeah.
So in that scene with the flower and the goons, what ends up happening is that's where we get this moment where he doesn't really care initially, and he tells her that they're playing a game of tag.
She's like, Papa's a liar.
Yeah, Papa's a bad liar.
Papa's always a liar. He just lies.
And he gives her a note, right, to go
to the orphanage, tell them that go to the police.
Yeah,
because his plan is to like, well, I mean, this is a sign that like I shouldn't be having a kid around for this, especially not her now. So, I think his plan was like have her go back to the orphanage and then just grab another kid.
Yeah, which is so heartless.
I mean, he's pretty heartless.
But it's his job.
Yeah. And and he's good for a reason. But thankfully, he doesn't end up following through because Anya can read his mind, and that's when the whole liar thing. Papa's a bad liar or whatever, a liar. And he ends up fucking up the goons in the coolest way ever. Like I said, the action in this series is done so well, and then he runs into her. She basically peeks around the corner, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" And she's like, "What are you doing here?" Because the whole time he's wearing someone else's face,
but she knows
she can read his mind. Yeah, so she knows it's really him.
And I like that he had a scene where like how he deals with that group where he does he threatens like, I know your family, I know this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he does like a genuine threat.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. They wouldn't bother him ever again.
Yeah, yeah. And then it gets to the really cute like full page kind of spread where it's Anya and Lloyd, and she basically says, I think that's when she says like don't leave me, like I want to be with you forever kind of thing. And that's when they go and they're on their way home and they're on like a train or something, and she's looking up at him and she goes like, Papa's a cool liar, and that's when it's like, that's so fucking sweet, man. It's so fucking, it makes me feel warm and I love it.
Yeah. And then the second speed bump becomes, well, now you need a wife.
Yeah. And then the Curb Your Enthusiasm music.
Yeah.
And I think that's like pretty much volume 1. I know we're introduced to the Thorn Princess at the very end. I'll go through.
Does it end with I thought it ends where they do that grenade proposal, or is that
No. Which also one of the coolest fucking panels ever, dude. Oh, I love that.
So cute.
That's like one of the defining scenes.
I was
in this.
Oh my god, he just proposed with a fucking grenade ring.
Oh no, this is crazy. If Volume 1 covers way more than that, actually. Volume 1 covers all the way up until it's not really a spoiler, but the meeting
for the school.
Yeah. It covers way more than that. Wow. So okay.
It goes up to the entrance exam.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So we do meet the Thorn Princess.
You get to meet who she feels the pressure to start dating someone because people think it's weird that she's single at her age, and
to cover her ass for being, her job killing people,
which is fucked up because she's I think 26 or something like that.
Yeah, and she started like young. Like there's a panel of her like shown, and she's like a kid.
And we might have said this in the first episode too. Now that I'm the original Spy X Family review,
but it's funny because as time goes on, I feel more strongly about it not being weird to be that age and single.
Yeah, that's my problem. Is that she's 26 and everybody's freaking out that they're going to call the cops on her and they're going to say that someone's going to arrest her because she's single at that age and that's suspicious.
Yeah, what are we living in the 1950s?
I'm just saying, I'm a little bit older than 26.
It reminded me of those memes I would see where it was like the fear that like theaters would have no singles allowed policies.
I just think that's a little fucking rude.
Yeah. If she should have been like 80, and then people being like,
"Why are you single?
Why are you still single at that age?" Then I'd be like, "Okay, sure, fine, but whatever." But when you're still a spring chicken,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Dude, she's spry.
Yeah,
her life is just starting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you should be single at 26. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm projecting a little bit.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
You can do it. You can keep going.
I've done it. I've been doing it longer than 26.
Mm-hmm. Life?
Yes. Single life. Yeah.
Oh.
Entire life.
Entire life.
She's beautiful, though. She's beautiful, and she works for the city, and everybody's giving her a hard time. Everyone's razzing her. But this is where we get hints that she has a really close relationship with her brother, who she's helped raise, and she seems as if she's like sacrificed a lot for him too, for him to have the position he has, the job that he has. It was all because she worked hard. We're given all this when we meet her, and then we're also given the fact that she's an assassin. She gets a call from what does she call the agency that the chauffeur or something like that calls her.
Oh fuck.
To inform her.
You guys remember?
The Assassin's Creed.
The Assassin's
Creed.
Right.
Something like that.
And again, she is good at her job. She is such a good assassin. She fucks up a room full of,
most of them, I think they're just men.
Well, they're all men.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're all like, goons, typical goons, but I mean, dude, they all had guns and everything, and she goes in there without any, I think, just like blades or something, and she just fucks them all up, and it's beautifully drawn and beautifully done.
Yeah, and her cover life is that she just works at an office. Yeah, where and I guess like everyone there, like it's not like an agency cover, like she's just the one person who's not actually an office person there.
Yeah,
because her plot is like it was one of those movies you would see where she's like, I lied about having a date. Yeah. And they're gonna be at the party, and now she's got to get a date before the big holiday.
Talk about that. Fuck that fucking bitch. I want to sock her in the face. Yeah. No, it's just like shut up.
They're all catty,
I don't have a date. I have that. Like, why do you care?
Oh, and then she tries to sabotage her at the party. Yeah, which we'll get into a little bit later. But
what?
Yeah, her being alone at that party after saying she was gonna have a date. That felt very real.
It was that big of a deal, I guess.
Yeah,
like,
and then
someone had work. Sorry, couldn't make it.
Yeah.
I'm just being like, oh wow, I can't believe they're still here.
Maybe she is a spy.
Yeah, that's that's a little embarrassing. It's like, shut up, Kathy, or whatever the fuck your name is.
Her probably name is Kathy. Honestly,
yeah,
she's a Kathy.
It might be. We could probably.
I mean, I literally have the manga right here, but she's not important. She doesn't deserve it.
Yeah. So they meet at like a...
because she rips her dress on the job.
Yeah.
It's the only dress she has. She has to go get it stitched, and Lloyd has to go get a...
school
uniform for Anya. Mm-hmm. And so that they meet. And they both... I mean, it's very, Cody, makes fun of me because I say this word a lot, very serendipitous. Because they both have, motive to need what the other is offering.
And the funny thing about it is Anya just knows that he needs to find a wife, so she's like, "Oh, Dad, we don't have a mom," and she's just like saying all this shit for her to overhear, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, I don't know why she's saying all that. You want to have dinner sometime?"
Yeah, I like that because she's like, "Oh, he has a daughter. He's probably married."
Yeah.
Actually, she was like, she was like interested.
She hears that, she's like, "Oh fuck, I need to say something." Yeah. It's only me and you, Dad.
Ma, it sure does suck that you're single and it's just us two.
Yeah.
No, she's a great wingman.
She's a great wingman. I wish I could read minds,
I don't. I really don't. That does not sound fun.
I wish I could turn
it off and on.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It's not constantly hearing people's thoughts. I would probably go insane.
Yeah, you're right. I guess that is a little maddening. Yeah. Poor Anya, actually.
And I like because the system of it all is each of them is hiding something. Mm-hmm. So they're so busy with trying to cover up what they're hiding, they don't even look into what the other two people are like doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like when Thorn, what's her real name? It's your
Briar, I think.
When she like pulls like some like super karate move, the spy guy is just like, "Oh, good thing she did that because now I don't have to reveal that I'm a good fighter."
Right.
And he puts no thought into the fact that she's able to do that.
Yeah, and
because
they don't talk about Anya just saying thoughts that they say ever.
Right.
They're always just like, "Oh,
she's a kid. She says crazy things."
And I like that about her because she gets her moments too. Like she gets her moment to. Lloyd gets his moment to be the hero, and Yor gets her moment to be the hero too, with the purse snatching scene where she immediately leaps into action instinctively, and like you said, they're so busy trying to cover their own secrets that they don't even acknowledge what the absurdity that is like Yor and Anya.
Yeah, Anya's like, "Oh, I want ice cream."
yeah.
Like, there he is.
Yeah. It's so cute. I can't help talking about it and smiling, but
yeah. I mean, when they go on because he's late to the ball where he's like, "Oh, okay, I'll pretend to be your boyfriend if you pretend to be my wife." A very classic, I don't know, 2009 movie plotline. And
just two people faking it till they make it. That's the title of the movie.
That is absolutely the
Coming
title.
out next spring, 2006.
Well, yeah, and then
whenever
they figure it out.
I also forget that when he does show up,
he's covered in blood.
He's covered in blood
because he had to like do a mission before he could like make it, and he just and the whole time she's like, "Well, I guess this is what it's like to be what's
a psychiatrist."
No, when she she's like, "Oh, he's not here," and then she still goes to the party. She says like, "This is what it's like to be." What's it called? When
stood up.
Stood up. Yeah.
Yeah. Feels like you would know what that word
is.
Why
would you pretend? Like...
Why are you pretending you don't know?
Well, it's such a foreign idea, but I mean,
that one kind of hurt. That one kind of hurt. That was like it was a good one, but then it turned into like a little bad one.
No, I think what it means is he doesn't even have the opportunity to get stood up because no one's even initiating the date in the first place.
I mean,
I don't know what's worse.
What's worse is being single and then being like, "But that guy's really single." It's
just one guy
kind of projecting your insecurities more,
trying to figure it out.
Is being
that's so
Cody.
Because granted, when one of us starts dating, it's gonna be a nightmare for the other person.
Oh, yeah.
But as a reminder, we're in the exact same boat.
A nightmare.
Well, I mean.
Being the only single one on the podcast.
Oh.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's just one person.
Yeah.
That's alone.
You guys have a very different thought process.
Yeah, right now we're at least like, we have there's a little camaraderie in,
I guess off mic, yeah.
yeah. Anyway, yikes.
Camaraderie,
right.
Yeah. His immediate cover story for being covered in blood is, "I'm a doctor, psychiatry, and my patient he just got
He's
crazy."
Having a disassociative sort of episode right now, where he thinks he's someone else.
Yeah, and he's like, "Anyway, we're married," and then they're like, "Oh, you guys are married?" He's like, I got the stories confused.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah. And we've been married for a year. And everybody's like, why are
She's
you?
like, you haven't told your brother yet?
But it's also that moment's so funny where it's like, first of all, what? We're married? And he's like, oh, right. I forgot. We've been married for a year. And it's like, oh, why are you making this worse? But it's so funny. And that catty bitch is there. Kathy, we'll just call her.
And she's like, why is she dating a hunk and a doctor?
I know.
Yeah, she's pissed.
She's so pissed.
She's pissed.
Fuck her. And
salty.
She's dating, what's his name? Who knows yours brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's supposed to relay this message to him about her date and if he's a good guy.
She's a psycho. Like, she just works with her. Like, they're not even really friends. Like it's such a weird relationship that she has with these office ladies. Because she's like, just a bitch.
I'm gonna spill a tray full of food on her. That'll really
that'll really teach her not to be single
teach
again.
her to end up having a boyfriend when she
and
said
a
she
husband.
did.
Like,
who's also a husband. Her husband boyfriend.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, at first she's like, you should really find a husband because they're arresting people. Okay, I'm gonna find a husband. Oh, I'm mad now. What? It doesn't make. It's not.
I'm so mad that I'm gonna, like you said, I'm gonna dump food all over you. Like, what is that gonna accomplish? You're gonna look so stupid.
You're gonna look like an idiot next to your husband.
Next to your husband,
who's
next to your hunk.
Right.
Your hunk of a husband who has a better job than my husband.
And of course, she's doing it out of jealousy or whatever. But still,
it's not gonna.
I like that character who's just like, all right, plan B. Just
right. Well, I mean, that's mine and your relationship.
Sure.
Well, yeah, because like I'm telling, you know what I mean? Like if you get a girlfriend, yeah, right.
Again, you've been single longer than I have.
Is that true?
Okay. Yeah.
This is the thing. I never start these, and
all right, you're right, Cody. Let's just keep going.
No, let's go into it. Yeah, Josh, you would have been hung in the streets when they found out how old you are and still being single.
Oh, really? Maybe I would have had my own spin-off series, huh?
Yeah, dead single old man.
Family.
Family. Ex-family.
Ex-family.
Dead single
old
man, ex-family.
Yeah.
That's when that's the alternate take before they were like, maybe dial it down.
Yeah, that was his original pitch. And he's like, yeah, but what if it's cute?
Yeah. What if you got like a girlfriend?
Yeah, what if you actually found somebody and it was really easy for him and he got a cute daughter and he had a happy life? You guys are right.
And they
oh my god.
They get like chased by the goons. And like he gets a moment where he like expresses like his admiration for her based on like the little stuff he does know about her past, but it is like genuine. And yours like, no one's ever said that, you know?
Yeah.
And she's like, he appreciates those little things even though they've barely talked. It's like kind of setting a nice foundation for their relationship in the future. And then like he's like, oh no, it's my other psychiatric patients. They're all having dissociative episodes. We're gonna have to they're gonna change. I gotta go over here real quick. And then
they do have the bomb scene, but that's not at the very end. But they do have that scene, the grenade ring moment, which is just, come on, it doesn't get better than that. Like if you're on the fence about reading the series at all, just look at that panel or hear about this moment and you're hooked.
Yeah.
It's basically a moment where they're, because again, I don't think we mentioned it, their agreement is that he's going to agree to be her boyfriend / husband apparently if she agrees to go to this meeting with him and pretend to be his wife, and that's why he gets it mixed up.
Yeah.
And so they're on the run. Again, she's not really thinking about why these people are chasing her, and she's good at handling herself because she's an assassin. And they're hiding behind a crate, and he when they originally went to stop these guys, they were stopping a jewelry heist. Frankie took a bunch of stuff. That was his incentive for joining the mission, was he could sell these things.
And he says like, "Oh, the diamond's for me."
Yeah, and I'm gonna keep this ring for me because I have my own purpose for it.
Yeah.
He loses it. He can't find it. And then he just pulls the ring off the grenade, puts it on her finger.
Yeah, as they're going through vows in their head on each one, and then
it doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, that's what, in my head I was like, oh, that's the end of Volume 1, because that's the conclusion of the setup. That's the setup to this manga right there.
And then it just leads into shenanigans ensue.
Yeah.
More shenanigans.
Then shenanigans ensue because now they're just like they're moving in. There was like one really cute scene where they show like Anya like and Lloyd. Yeah. They're like cleaning and it just shows that Anya's imagining being like, welcome home. Yeah. Like showing like the clean house.
Well, yeah, and she's like, my mom's an assassin, my dad's a spy. Like she's
like, having time of her life.
Yeah, and Anya just wants to have the dopest, craziest, coolest life that a girl can have.
Yeah.
So that's why she wants to. She does love them, but more than that, I think she's so stoked to be in this like crazy situation.
Yeah. Well, at first she's like not about her. Like she's not about your like. There's like comments or there's like just comments here and there where she's like, "You're bad at cooking." Yeah. Or, like you do this or you do that, and like she's definitely like daddy's girl, like Lloyd, because. But she warms up to her.
Yours just like slightly hurt, every time.
Yeah,
she,
she's
Well, Yor has like a meltdown later on about it, but and that moment is so pure and sweet too, because Lloyd, like you said, just like reaffirms her and like reassures her and just comforts her and just validates her, and he makes her feel seen,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe I should stop looking for a Yor and look for a Lloyd.
I think where it got to them going to like the exam was probably my favorite. That was like the peak of the comedy for me.
It was perfect. It was fucking perfect. All of it. Just all of their you showcase just all of their assets. Yeah. Anya reading the minds, him analyzing the situation. What does Yor do? She does some shit.
Yor saves them when the animals.
Yes, Yor fucking kicks ass. Like it's all shown, but they're showing what they want to show to the people, and it's hilarious. And the main guy is like elegant. Oh, so elegant, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
I love that guy because they're walking to the exam, and then Lloyd notice we're being watched. Amateurs, and it's like the examinees, and they're like already being like, oh, they don't walk good, those people suck, and then it's like, okay, every little thing is a test. There's a kid in like a sewer drain.
Oh yeah.
Help me, please, I can't get out. It's like they really would stoop to this level. Yeah. Really? Okay, we'll do this, I guess.
and he breaks him out. He saves him. But he gets a little bit of mud on his jacket, and that's when the guy who's watching them, the elegance guy, goes like,
"Damn."
He's like, I thought they were it.
I guess I was wrong.
Yeah, I guess I was wrong.
I was mistaken.
Yor brought an extra set of clothes.
He goes,
elegance!
Yeah, he's like,
good thing I brought an extra set of clothes. It's almost like Sakamoto theme is also playing.
Yes. Well, and then I love the line too where the boy goes like, before I think they change or whatever. He's like, or they change a second time or something. The boy goes like, oh man, I'm gonna be the reason that this family doesn't get accepted into the school. Like, and he goes like, no, I actually think I look better in this suit than the last one. I think my chances are even higher. And the guy's like, he's even blaming, he's even like making the boy feel blameless in all of this, like even more elegance.
And it's hilarious that you would hear him from that height and you would know the conversation that they're having.
Like this seems like a Jim Carrey type of character because he's just screaming all this, and the other people are just like. Like everyone else in the room is just like, yes, good marks, and he's just sheer elegance.
Yeah, he's like who's the teacher from Fairly Odd Parents? Every time he says fairy godparents,
Mr. Crocker.
Yeah.
Mr. Crocker. He's just like, but instead of saying fairy godparents, he's saying elegance every time.
He starts doing like poses, like
yeah. That's how I picture it.
I think my favorite part of that where like an animal stampede happens, attention, the animals have gotten loose from the facility, and everyone's like, I can't believe they would stoop to this level of testing. Like this is insane. They would test people, and they're just like, we didn't plan this. That just happened.
Yeah, we fucked up.
we fucked up. People might have died. They might have got trampled to death by some cows or
I love
what have you.
The magic of that, where you're like, like they're getting crazy with tests. And like, no, who did that? No one.
Well, yeah, dude, and it's so funny too because they end up like saving the day, and then there's. I mean, I kind of maybe spoiled it a little bit, but then they get their clothes dirty, and he's like, the elegance guy's like, okay, well, you had your spare outfit. You know what? You've earned it. go home, change, come back, and there's like, no, we have a third outfit. And he's like, God damn it. How do you guys keep preparing for all of this? But
the little thing I like too with Anya, because like they know like naturally to like we're being watched, just look
normal,
fancy, normal, whatever,
or fancy. And
Anya like knows that she's supposed to do that because she reads their minds, and she's like walking, but she's like on the verge of like crying with her mouth, and she's like.
Well, yeah, and she keeps calling everybody like sir. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
She's
Thank
trying
you,
hard.
Mommy, sir.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah. But then we get into the actual. They get past the testing and they have an actual meeting. And speaking of catty bitches, this is the most catty bitch of the whole fucking.
It's true. It's true.
Who is this guy?
He's a guy who just got divorced, and he's like
sad sap.
Yeah.
Bitter.
Just a bitter single old man.
And he's the son of the guy who owns the Eden Academy or whatever. He's the son of the founder of the school.
Yeah, so he has more pull than he should. Because Lloyd makes those like assessments. Like the Sir Elegance, I don't know, I'll call him Sir Elegance.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, this guy seems like, oh, he likes this, and this. And he sees that guy, and he's like, oh, this guy, nepotism.
Yeah.
Didn't work for anything he's ever had.
Yeah, no. And then he just starts fucking rattling off these fucking insults, questions that could. He's just an asshole.
Talking about like,
he's like
women cooking and stuff like
yeah,
that.
he's like, you don't cook in the kitchen. What are women good for? And they're like, oh, fuck this guy.
Fuck this guy.
And he opens with like, so your wife is dead. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And then he asks Anya, like, do you like your new mom or your old mom more? Which, credit to the writer, like, they made this guy ask the wrong questions and made him the most unlikable person I've ever read in a story.
He's the worst one out of all of the people that you've met so far in the series because he's really thinking that these people are like legit. And like people that come into these interviews that like have these issues, he's just like really exposing their asses. Yeah. And if they weren't, if his wife was dead, like he's just asking these crazy questions.
If they were a real family, like what a horrible thing to ask.
Yeah.
You know?
just breaks down and cries and like you will never get into this school.
Yeah. He's like, that's what I thought. You're weak.
So yeah, he asked Anya like, who do you like better, your new mom or your old mom? And then she like cries. Yeah. And then they're like, Sir Elvis like, you went too far, sir. Yeah. And everyone's like, fucking like, fuck this fool. Like, we didn't expect him to go this hard in the paint. Like, he really.
Because he starts getting annoyed. He gets upset with how they would have the perfect response.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm going to hit him even harder. Yeah. So what, you don't cook and clean? What's going on? And Lloyd's like, well. There's more. There's a nice little moment. He's like, well, there's, she cleans, but I don't mind cooking.
I like cooking.
Yeah. It's a good back and forth.
Yeah, it's like everyone provides their own aspects of parenting. It's a very like honest answer about parenting.
And then that's where Anya says like, no, I love my mom and dad. Yeah. I love them. And yours like, oh, that's the first time she's told me that. And it's such a cute moment for them to like hear her just say that because they're like, oh yeah, this is we're trying to get her into the school. Like it kind of hit them like, oh yeah, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, and that was a super cute moment. But then when he makes Anya cry, that's when we get that other really cool moment where Lloyd is like boiling, starting to, or at least that's what it seems like.
Yeah,
right?
He's mad,
and then he gets really mad, and then he slams the table. He like punches the table, and the table like breaks in half. And you think as a reader, like, oh, fuck, he lost his temper. He lost his cool. He's not going to make it in. And then he pulls his hand away and there's like a dead mosquito there. And he was like, I was just trying to protect you. And then the guy is just like, Elegance.
And he's Mr. Elegance really stood up for them too. Like he was like, shut your fucking mouth, you dumb bitch.
Punched him in the face. Was like, sucker punch. You're asking too many fucking bad questions. Yeah.
Sorry, your wife doesn't love you or is gone. And you think that, he's like, I don't know if I'm fired. I might be fired.
Yeah,
he really was like the integrity of this conversation. Like I respect you guys.
Yeah, well, because to him, elegance is maintaining the status of the school by being by representing good, honest, sportsmanship or whatever the fuck. I don't know.
Does he have a line after he punches him where he goes like, "How inelegant" or something?
Something like
that.
That
feels it felt like a very because he grabs a handkerchief, and he wipes the blood off his hand, and it was so like, who is this guy?
Yeah,
they didn't tell me this was this. I hope this is a main character. This guy rules.
Yeah.
Well, he comes. I mean, he's a part of the story more. And
more. The more you see him, the more he just seems like a cool dude. Because at first it's like he's like, oh, like you think it's like high class for what elegance is.
Yeah.
But it's like integrity.
He has morals. He's about morals,
And he's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
That's part of the charm of this is the head of like this like super preppy fancy school is just like how dare you speak that way to them? And he like punches out the son of like the owner of the school.
Yeah, straight up. And he's like, I'm still here.
Well, I think, he's still there, but is the guy, I don't know if at least from what I've read up to, I don't know if the son is still there. The guy who was asking all the horrible questions, I don't know if he's still involved with the school or not either.
For some reason, you saying that reminds me of something of him being taken off of a...
He mentions that he might be because you can't really just punch out that guy, but until that happens, he's still like a part of the council.
No, the other guy, the son.
Oh. I
don't know. What him saying that reminded me of him like... After that little incident, he's not allowed to do interviews anymore or something like that. I don't fucking know.
I'm flipping through the manga now. What a weird place to end Volume 1. You're right, Cody. After that grenade scene, they could have ended it. Or even after the punching of the table. But they literally end Volume 1 on the note of it's post-meeting, and they're just all kind of like, well, I guess we kind of like blew it. I guess that meeting went horribly wrong. But we're still together and we're still a family, and we don't know what's gonna happen in the future, but let's just celebrate being together right now.
That's it.
End of Volume 1.
It would have been better. I think the second volume starts kind of with them going to the school and looking at the board and them seeing their names are not spoiler
that
on the
been
list.
Cool.
And then it ends and you're like, what?
That's a great. But that would have been such because that could have been done in a couple pages,
literally.
And it would have been like a cliffhanger, more of a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
because this does like you get the feeling in the meeting because of the mosquito was there and everything. You get the feeling like somehow they're gonna. Well,
they have Mr. Elegance standing behind them, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I figure he would have like pulled something to get them. I didn't view it as like a reveal because also that's the premise of the manga. So like I didn't view it as like a big reveal that they made it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean the way the test does, where Anya's like reading minds, trying to figure out what the best answer is, and then people reading the room, and then like them two like showing their appreciation for each other more as partners. When it's like, oh, what'd you see in her? What'd you see in him? And they're not lies. They don't like make up. They say like, oh, I met him at a tailor, and it's like they did. And it's like I really like the attention to his daughter and his devotion to his work. It's like that's true. He's like I like it with all the stuff she does. Blah blah blah. And like those are true things. They're kind of just like like she'll say something, and he goes, huh? And then he'll say something, and she goes, oh.
I love this series, man, and I loved it the first time I read it. I think that for me, like I said, I was wondering if I was just gonna love everything that I read this much, or if I had just accidentally one of the first not one of the first manga I read. I've read a shitload of manga before that, but I mean one of the first ones I had chose to do for this podcast. I thought, man, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what I thought. Maybe,
how can it get better than this?
I was like, I can't be this lucky. And I guess I was because I absolutely love this series. I think it's the cutest. I mean, aesthetically, one of the most beautiful, well-drawn, well-done, well-executed, well-packaged, wholesome, well-rounded, beautiful, cute, wholesome story. And I felt that way then, and I feel more passionate about it now. But since you guys only read, at the time we did the first episode, read the first couple chapters, and now that we've kind of walked through everything, you kind of said in the beginning, but as like a final thought, how do you feel about the series as a whole, or at least up to where you left off reading?
I'm super invested in the characters at this point. Like, I could give a shit about if the mission goes well or not, because it's like I just want to see them be successful and happy, and I'm sure that I will. and the dynamic is gold, and really they could do no wrong. I mean, I don't see it going anywhere but up from here.
Yeah.
And like you said, the art's well done. Everything they execute in this manga is well done. There wasn't at any point where I was like, that was a little. No, it's all just every panel, every page, it's spot on with everything. I laughed out loud multiple times. The characters are so cute and serious when they have to be, and I think that is everything that you want in a manga and more.
Yeah. I mean,
that pretty much that does it. Yeah.
Ditto.
Yeah, I got nothing to add to that. That's, I think it got even better for me at volume 2.
Mm-hmm.
The it started getting more I don't know, just like fun, and then like, because I don't know, it just focused more on Anya for a bit.
Yeah. The more the farther you go, the more you're introduced to other characters. The world gets bigger. You meet your brother. You haven't got to this part yet, but you finally meet their dog. Like,
dude, I saw a little snippet of that doggy.
Yeah.
And asked we were like, before we started recording, I was like, oh! And then Cody was like, looked at me, and I was like, I saw a dog. I was like, oh, another character that I'm gonna love.
You know what's great is I didn't even like think about it when she said that. She was like, she was like, oh, I saw a dog. Okay, that makes sense.
You're like, that sounds like something she would say.
I didn't even think, like, oh, was that related to Spikes?
Right. But you're right, Cody. It does get better. I feel like it just gets more fun the more you read it. And I could read this series forever.
Because of how much you're invested in the characters over time and see how they're like growing. And it's not like super rushed where like they're like all just like a happy family now. Mm-hmm. Like it's not that. It's more like, you know, they're still doing their shit. So that's cool.
Like, not only have they not even kissed, there hasn't even been any like tension in regards to it.
Yeah, well,
just wait. There's a scene.
Yeah,
a couple, like 2 panels.
You're like very close.
You're very close to it
happening.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is it builds up to that.
Yeah, and that scene, you're like, oh my god, is this gonna happen? Is this gonna happen right now?
Well, like
normally,
exactly what you said. Yeah.
In a story like that, you know, anyone else, that story, they would have had that tension happen in like the second chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the end of volume 1, they would kiss, and that would have been the big like, actually, we are in love. But like, for a lot of it, they're just like they just appreciate each other, and it's just like I'm like I hope. Not only do I hope they get together, I assume they will.
It's kind of like a real relationship when you get to know a person for who they are before you
wouldn't know anything about it, but
fall in love.
Right.
You know, I'm like. Maybe it is better for you to just try to make fun of me, because when you do it to yourself, it's just sad. I get it.
Should I start? You guys don't do it to yourselves, and I just do it to you guys. Okay.
Sure. No.
But
no?
You don't get to.
Why?
Yeah, I do think you're right though. I think because it doesn't happen, and we're not given that right away, that even when we get a little tiny tease,
the tiniest,
you get really excited. You're like, is this gonna happen? It's like you're more on the edge of your seat.
Even when they just like flirt back and forth, and Anya's like, you need to be happy with each other. You need to make each other happy, and they're like, what? And she's just like,
so cute. So cute. We could ramble on about this series forever. It's amazing. Hopefully we did our job and we remedied the problem that was the first Spy X Family review that we did.
Let's see if we missed anything here.
While Cody's perusing the notes.
Perusing the Perines.
Perusing the Perines. Yes.
That's my family sitcom right there.
Perusing with the Perines.
Perusing with the... Yeah, for your cosplay.
That's like Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
I like open the door. I'm like... Yeah. What? We opened the door at the same time?
And then every member of the family is played by a different version of Megan in different cosplay.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Perfect.
It's like the Nutty Professor.
I'm going to pitch that to Warner Brothers, see if they pick it up.
It'd be dumb not to.
It would be insane not to.
Yeah. But I just hope... look, like we said at the beginning, we didn't really have the structure of our show figured out at the time we did the first episode. So if you've read Spy X Family, obviously let us know what you think. And if you haven't, I think it goes without saying that we all highly, highly, highly recommend it. It's one of my all-time favorite series, and I could confidently say that now, whereas before I don't think I could confidently say that. And yeah, so we want to do this more. We want to do more Volume 1 redones. We have a few that we are planning on doing. Jujutsu Kaisen is going to be one. And the way we want to do it is obviously if they merit volume dones, all that still applies. But it's just so that we can go back and give some of these series the respect they deserve. In hindsight, it was a bad idea to do it the way we did it.
What a wild year.
Yeah. Truly.
Yeah.
What a wild year it was.
Truly.
I mean, yeah, just some context. We recorded after I got off work during COVID, which I was just a very sleepy boy for that entire year.
Yeah, there was a lot going on, like kind of behind the scenes. I mean, we've said it a million times, but in hindsight, yeah, it makes so much sense. But at the time, we were convinced that it would like represent. Some of
you have to understand. We thought it was amazing.
Okay, this is not to be misconstrued, though.
All right, get your construins ready.
No, our format for the podcast, yes, has changed, but our dynamic has always the same.
Yes.
Always spot on.
Yes.
Always meshed together very well. That is without saying. So just because we didn't have a great format doesn't mean we weren't great people.
And I will, on that note, which I think that's also very important to say, like, I think, because we did get a comment from somebody who turned out to be very nice.
Which is the way it always goes, is I think people expect an argument to happen.
Yeah.
And then we're like, no, especially when you're
I
like,
agree.
It's always just like, no, we agree with you.
Yeah.
And speaking of comments, we are about to get into the Wonder Circle, but we got a DM actually, not even a comment, from somebody who was a listener of the podcast and who basically reached out and said, like, I really like you guys and I usually love all of your episodes. However, I'm a huge fan of Jujutsu Kaisen, and you guys
were such a fan that they went back to our audio-only episodes.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they saw we had an episode on it, and
it's a heavy hitter. I mean, it's a very popular series.
The series, yeah.
That's the thing is, at the time, I don't even think did it have an anime?
It did. It was like the first. I watched like the first episode.
Yeah, the first episode was coming out, so it's just gained so much popularity since then.
Yeah.
So that created this conversation because it's like, we didn't know, the other two people didn't read it, and then it was like, okay, it's not like that just goes away now, and then also it's like this isn't a purely comedy thing, so it's like it's not like, oh, that's episode 5, whatever. That was supposed to be a review on that series, so
yeah, and so and they pointed that out to us, and they said, like, had I not been a listener already, and this would have been my first experience with your podcast, I probably wouldn't have continued to listen. And look, we take that to heart. Like, that's not something we. I don't think. I hope that's very clear that we take everything people watching and listening say, like, to heart. Like, we care, we listen, and we take it seriously.
Yeah.
And
so we almost deleted it.
Yeah, I mean, it was truly.
In fact, I kept asking us to you, and then Josh gave me a 20-minute spiel about how he decided.
Hey, it
not
was a
to.
beautiful speech,
It
and
was
it
a
really
nice
moved me,
speech.
and it changed. It changed a part of my opinion in my heart.
Thank you, Megan. All I was saying is that it's a part of our journey. And I think, like, that's a great way to close it before we get into the Wonder Circle, is like, it's a part of the journey. We've grown, and I don't think there's any shame in growing. And I think that it's important to How
would you know?
All right, I'll let you have it. I was getting a little sentimental, but I'll let you have it. I don't think there's any shame in evolving, and we were where we were at, and we wouldn't be where we are now without where we were, and we needed to be there to be here.
I think the consensus is that it would be borderline cowardly to just delete them, sort of to hide, because I mean, we're always going to feel the urge to, like,
exactly.
I mean, next year we're not going to like any of these videos. That's sort of the goal, is to never like who you are a year ago.
Yeah.
Or in general.
At all.
It's very humbling.
But I also think, like, to what Megan's point was too, is that, like, even though they're and so our solution might be just changing some of the episode names,
because it's a lie to say that was a Jujutsu Kaisen review.
Yeah, it's pretty it's more of a discussion. It's a group discussion about the series.
Yeah.
So we figured it out, and
But your point was, at least before we recorded, that, like, and I agree with it, is that, like, although they might not be great Jujutsu Kaisen or Spy X Family reviews, I think that like as friends talking about anime and manga, they're still funny and they're still fun, and I still like enjoy listening to them. However, changing the name might be a little more honest because they really aren't in-depth reviews. They're more so like casual conversations around a lot of like
centered on we would use them as a springboard for like it was for
Games.
a podcast,
different topics.
games,
If you want to have a blast and you want to be entertained, go back to those episodes because you will believe your ears or your eyes.
And if you came here, what our first episode was on Chainsaw Man, which we talked about for roughly 15 minutes before we just moved on.
Yeah.
And I wasn't prepared for any follow-up questions involving Megan asking me, so what are the characters like?
Yeah.
Where I was like, they're good.
They're good, and you'd like them. And I said, oh, okay. You'd really like this one power. Oh, okay. I feel like you'd really like her. Cool. Anyway, my name is Megan Preen, and I like Yuri on Ice. And no, I'm just kidding.
No, that's exactly what happened.
But seriously, like, I mean, honestly, if y'all, we have some oneers, we have some day oneers.
Yeah.
You know, but if you have been with us through thick and thin, bitch, and you have my heart.
Yes.
You have my full heart. I'm looking straight at you. You have my heart. Okay?
Yeah.
And I love you.
And I love you too.
And if you got here from YouTube, if you want to go back and listen to the audio only, just know we also don't like it. Unless you do like it.
Then we like it.
Then we agree with you.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
You have opinions.
Yeah, you have your own opinions.
Just
consider this a little disclaimer just to know what you're getting into if you go back.
Yeah, we thought a concern used to be, how are we going to fill up time? And then we realized we can just sort of talk about the manga, which, we had to go through that process, but we did.
We were in the trenches, and now we're on the battlefield playing some soccer with the other team.
Well, yeah, we're always getting better. Yeah. I don't know who gets into trenches and then starts playing soccer. But
it's a known thing. It happened on Christmas, holidays, when they had, it was
they
war.
Played soccer?
Yeah, they played soccer, sports with the opposing side.
I'll take your word for it.
No, I do know they played a sports game.
I mean, any sports, they're like, hey, it's Christmas. I'll kill you tomorrow.
Yeah. I think I did hear something like that, actually, now that you're saying
But hey,
it.
This isn't a history podcast.
You're right.
Those past episodes are history.
Yeah. No, that was good. I don't know why you got mad at that.
That was a solid
anyway, you have my heart. I just want to say I love you.
Yeah, anyway, speaking of having
don't even worry about anything I said.
Yeah. You know, Cody was a little how do you say?
Como se dice, sleepy.
Sleepy. You know, malnourished, maybe underslept.
Living in a house with no air conditioning, no air conditioning.
Oh Cody, you're such
during
a
the
better
heat wave.
place
Yeah,
now.
right. Isn't he like in such a
better place? You're happier.
I have a car with air conditioning, and when the next heat wave hits, I'm gonna have an apartment with air conditioning.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
coming up.
He's coming up.
You have to understand, I have not had a room with air conditioning until I just moved into this apartment.
Man.
And Josh has
I was a wet sponge guy my whole life.
Megan?
You have
You have volume 1.
Yeah, you have volume 1, Sean.
And I have.
You got a haircut.
I did.
You got a
haircut.
Finally, you have a bed.
You
don't have that.
You don't have
yet.
a bed yet.
But that could happen.
Someone.
For like a week, maybe. Didn't last very long.
But you could
lasted too long.
You're right. You know what else I have? I have you. Okay, listening and watching. And that's all I need. Okay, I don't need a bed or a girlfriend or a boyfriend. I need you. Okay?
He finally said it. Get that on fucking record.
And that's all I need. All I need is you. And speaking of you, this is the segment of the podcast where we read some of your comments. So even if you're listening to the podcast, I've always wanted to say this, but I always forget to. Even if you're listening, you can hop over to YouTube and you can leave a comment. And we'll read it possibly on the next episode. Or you can DM us too. It's always an option. I don't want to. I feel bad always about excluding listeners because I feel like obviously this goes up on YouTube. Most people watch it, but I know some people listen to it. I don't want to exclude you anymore. I never meant to. But I just really want to make it known that like, if you're just listening, we want to like interact with you too.
Yeah,
so,
we read them. We read them every day, and we get excited. for them, even if they're really mean. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. It happens every now and then.
It happens.
We sit on it.
Every now and then we sit on it, we simmer, and we discuss. But honestly, we'd love to hear from you guys because I know there are listeners who've been listening since day one, people that haven't seen us on YouTube yet. So please, 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 that would be amazing, and we would really enjoy that.
Yeah.
And say that you're from the listeners if you want to comment.
Yeah, yeah. Say you're a listener only. Maybe you're both. My comment comes from Yeet Bapu.
Yeet.
Yeah, Yeet Bappo. Bappo.
Bappo.
Yeet
Bappo.
That's probably some sort of Italian sports player.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeet Bappo says you guys should review Spy X Family, or it isn't Meguro-san's first time. I'll do you one better. We'll review it twice. We'll review Spy X Family twice. We just did it. You're welcome, and we did it for you. Thank you so much, Yeet. Can I call you Yeet? Yeet?
Mr. Yeet, sir?
Mr. Yeet. What are your comments?
I can read mine. This is from Kevin Rivera, listener of ours. Love Kevin. Also, check out Spy X Family. I believe it's by one of Fujimoto's assistants, and it's really good and wholesome with the fun character dynamics and developments. Highly recommend. Exactly on the dot. Perfect. I want to shout out perfect analysis as well to get someone hooked on the series. I mean, you could have an hour podcast and talk about it for an hour and discuss the highlights of the series, but just to beautifully summarize, you mention casually that it has these three dynamics, and it's a work of art in itself.
And that comment truthfully also really got me interested in the fact that like Fujimoto could have kind of had something to do with it. Like when I read that comment, that was the first time I had ever heard of anybody who was attached to Fire Punch in any way being involved in Spy X Family. Like to me, those worlds never crossed.
I mean, they shouldn't. They really shouldn't.
Yeah. But when I read that comment, I was like, I gotta look into that, and I did, and you're right. So
thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, Kev.
Thanks, Kevy Kev.
Kevy Rivy.
Kevin Rivy. Cody, what's your comment?
This is by Error.
Love Error.
Yeah, they said, Cody exists. Me. I feel personally attacked.
Yeah.
Now, there's two ways to take that. It has a decent amount of thumbs up too. Now, there's one way of taking it, which is you're insulted by my very existence. But based on knowing the meme structure of that, it's whenever you relate to something you don't want to, it's a personal attack. And if you do relate to me, I'm sorry.
Error. Yeah. I relate to Cody. Error.
Yeah, if you relate to Cody, that's where you got his username from. Error. Fuck.
That's what God said when he made us. So,
wow.
You.
Yeah.
No, anyone who relates to me, we should not be.
Oh.
That's our slogan.
Yeah, why are you saying we? I don't like the we. Like you're not a being. Like you're not.
In many ways, we're all one.
Okay.
We're all volume one.
We're all volume one.
Wow, dude, what a nice little bow on that, dude. I like that.
Okay, why are you rubbing your suit like that?
I like it. Anyway,
I was starting to think that, you know what, you don't look bad in a tuxedo.
Thanks, dude. Anything else? Any other compliments?
That's it.
You look pretty good too.
Thank you.
Anyway, that's it. That's it for our very first Volume 1 redone. Like I said, we're going to be doing more of these. Megan, did you have something you wanted to add?
No, you could go.
Oh, okay.
I'll say it after.
Yeah.
That's never a good sign.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
Oh, it's good?
I Spy, a great episode.
Oh, it was good.
You were going to save that?
Yeah, why were you going to save that?
Because I feel bad for interrupting you.
Oh.
No, never feel bad about that.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, hopefully, like I said, hopefully we fixed our mistake. But at least, I don't want to call it a mistake. I think at least we just hopefully gave the series a little more justice. Did it more justice.
This is also part of the reason why we don't want to tackle other things like JoJo.
Until we're prepared.
Until we're prepared for it, because the issue is, it's like we're still kind of getting the formula down and getting the format. So it's like if we do something that, like, sure, we know it'll probably get like a lot of views, if we don't do it justice,
people really, really care about.
It's going to upset people. We don't do it justice, and it'll be a lot of people's first impression of us. So we have to, get there.
We have to like give it the respect it deserves, especially with something like JoJo, and that's something that we're gonna do too. But anyway, look out for more Volume 1 redones, and look out for just regular old Volume 1s. And if you want to see us do a full series review on Spy X Family, I mean, I would fucking love that. I think
because I'm gonna read this regardless.
Yeah.
Me too.
This is one of the manga where I'm like going in my head like, okay, how long could they drag this story out for? I'm like, okay, hopefully this can go on for years.
Do you know
years.
how many volumes it has?
Right now in America, the volumes, the 4th one is coming out in the beginning of March. Yeah.
Wow.
But there's currently, I think, 41 chapters that you can get on like the Shonen Jump app that they translate like next day.
Got it.
From the Japanese release. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. All that's left now to do is get out of here on our outro that's always the same and never changes. Which today is...
What time to X out?
Actually,
I don't think it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Right.
Because it actually kind of makes sense.
X out the old, spy in the new.
See, this is it. We build off each other and like we just improve ideas.
Right.
Blinded by the twilight.
Not bad either.
I don't know. It's just something.
There's also an ELO song called Twilight that they used in an old anime. Concept album Time. Great album.
I think we're on the right track.
hand me the manga.
Assassinate.
Me.
Daddy Twilight.
Oh,
yeah. Spy. Why can't we just say what you said?
To our podcast's bright future, because the characters say to our family's bright future.
Why can't you just say what you said?
We're a family. Yeah. And why can't we just say I spy a great episode or I spy a great manga?
You know what?
Yeah.
Did we not do that?
No, she said it. But
no, I'm like in the first version of
No,
it.
definitely not. We were talking about B-Stars
right,
at the end of this episode.
Yeah, we were all over the place. Yeah.
I can't. I'm like. Here's the thing. Like I get being completely frustrated.
Oh yeah.
But we're good. We're good now.
But we got it.
Yeah.
And it's all solid. So let's go. I spy a good manga.
I spy a good manga.
Okay.
As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I did forget to mention, but please excuse me. If you are a Patreon member, you get early access to every episode. So every episode. That's Volume 1 redones. That's Volume 1s. You get voting. You get to vote on what we review next. You get so many perks, and we love all our Patreon members. Thank you so much for all your support. And if you're not a Patreon member, then we love you too. But you can join at patreon.com/volume1pod. Without further ado, allow me to leave you on our outro today, which we already decided. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And until next time,
I spy a good manga.